What is going on, guys? Kenny here from 619 Guitars and Gear, and I'd like to welcome you to a new project series. It is going to be the NK Headless Mod Project series, and this is going to be part one. We just finished up the Eart Headless series, and that came out really good. You guys really liked it. I enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun with the headless guitars. And so I figured, why not do another one? I was going to do either the Schecter or the Flying V, but what we're going to do is just alternate weeks. We'll do one project one week, and then the next week we'll just switch back and forth. So we'll do the Schecter, we'll do the Flying V, and there's no reason we can't either do multiple videos a week or just switch it up just to keep things interesting. It's not the same guitar every week. But this build is going to be super cool. It is actually going to be a themed build. It's going to be themed after a very popular series of movies, and I can't wait to do it. I'm not going to disclose what it's going to be yet. We're going to get it stripped down and prepped and ready to be painted or stained, whatever direction I go in, and then we will discuss what the theme is going to be. But I'm really excited, and I think you guys will really like it. It's going to have a nice dark theme, so it's going to be really cool. So as always, we're going to break this guitar down, and we're going to discuss how I did it. Basically started with taking the strings off, unlocking them at both ends, sliding them out. They were still good, so I coiled them right up, and we're going to keep them, just in case. You never know if you pop a string or not. Then I moved on to taking the neck off. I clamped it with one hand, clamped the neck and the body together just so nothing collapsed. It's actually a 5-bolt neck, so there's usually one more bolt than normal. And I was pretty surprised with how the neck was at the end. It was kind of just sawed off. It wasn't rounded or anything, which is just unusual. I'm sure it's common on either the NKs or just headless guitars in general, but I thought it was just crazy how it's just kind of sawed off. It wasn't rounded or anything. The neck joint in the body was well cut and well routed. There was a bunch of router marks still, which I'm sure is pretty common. It's not like it really does anything. It's not going to mess anything up, but great work. Nice and straight and nice, good cuts, and nothing to complain about there. So NK does a really good job with their neck joints, and yeah, it was nice and tight, fit really well, and obviously the pickup is right there. I just found it weird, like I said, how it just ended. It's just cut straight across, not rounded off or anything. But anyway, we moved on by taking the electronics out. The pickups were nice and easy. It's just a 3-way quick connector, kind of like EMGs, although with these pickups, the plug is reversed. So like the red and the black wire, I think, are just on opposite ends. So you just got to flip the plug, but they will work with EMGs because I've had EMGs in this guitar. So we just took all the screws out for the battery box, for the back plate. Now for the wires, I did cut or just broke off some of the wires because either way, there's no really need for me to desolder them because I always cut and have a fresh piece of wire when I solder them back anyway. So I always cut back the old piece and have a nice fresh piece. So whether I cut it or broke it off, if it was a small wire, I just broke it off because then I just take a soldering gun and clean up all the old solder and get that all off of there anyway. So it doesn't really even matter. So then we took the bridge system off, and what I did is I taped them all together so it keeps everything in order, kind of keeps everything in the position it was in, although I'm going to have to re-intonate everything anyway. Same thing with the base plates for the tuners. Took all the screws out, and then I put a piece of tape on them, front and back. Just kind of keeps everything in order that it was in, although they are the same. It doesn't really matter. I like to keep things and put them back where they were, so did the old tape trick with that. There you can see is some nice shielding tape under there, and that's where the ground wire is for the bridge system. But yeah, all the routes are real nice. The cavity route is all nice. It is shielded with shielding paint, although I'm probably going to use shielding tape when reassembling it. I just like the tape more. The holes for the neck are nice and drilled. Really pretty, nothing too wonky about them, and nice and even. Nothing to complain about there. All the routes on this guitar are really good from NK. I didn't find really anything that was messed up or anything like that. Like I said, there was some routing marks, which on some other guitars you don't really see too much. It seems like they cleaned them up a little bit, but like I said, it's not going to mess anything up. And you can see at the end of the pickup cavity where the neck looks like it ends and it's rounded off. That's what I thought was weird, how the neck was just like kind of chopped off straight. But like I said, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just really have never seen that. So then I moved on to the headpiece where we took the little string lockers off. And what I did was the same thing. I took them off in order, lined them up in order. And then once I did that, I actually put them back on and then did the tape trick again, just so it keeps everything in order. Like I said, it's kind of just an easier way to do it. You lay a tape on it and then you put a piece of tape on the back and it keeps everything from losing parts. And it's just put it in a little storage bin I have there and everything's ready to go. So all the routes there seem nice, nothing to complain about. The hole for the truss rod lines up. I know there's been some models where the truss rod and the hole weren't lined up, and yeah, that could be a problem, but nothing to complain about on this one. And this is my little way of keeping everything organized. I like to put it in a little tray. Basically, each section of the guitar you take off has its own compartment, and it's just a good way of not losing any bolts or parts or anything like that. And yeah, I always do that while disassembling a guitar, and I do it with my motorcycles and everything else. It's just a real good way to be, and that way you assure yourself you do not lose anything. So there it is. It's already apart. The next video, we're going to start sanding and getting some stuff prepped, and maybe we'll discuss the theme a little bit. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. Next week, we'll do some stuff with the Schecter, and then we'll switch it up with the Flying V. But I want to do multiple videos a week, I think. I think I'm going to get that blue off the neck, and this is an ash body, so I want to try that whole sandblasted technique, and then fill in the grain with whatever color I'm using to go with our theme. So, as always, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.